pee on my hand. See Terrell, the go up fan. All these pussies got no motion.
When I was 16 years old, I was shot by a rival gang member. My father at the time was in prison, and 2 months after I got shot, he came home. And 10 days after coming home, my father took me to murder the rival gang member who shot me.
That's crazy work, man.
First and foremost, what's your name and where you from, bro? My name's Tyson Atlas. I'm from San Bernardino, California.
What brings you here today?
What brings me here is a full circle moment for me. I was incarcerated for the last 18 and some change years, and I spent the majority of my time while incarcerated right here in this prison, right here in 2 building and in 5 building to be exact.
Man, how long you been out?
I've been out now 35 days today.
So you've been out 35 days and you're already back in volunteering?
Yeah, 35 days, man. And it was an opportunity to come back in and kind of inspire this community and to bring hope. And I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be in here hopeless, but to have people come back in and to show you that.
Ain't nothing wrong with change. Salute to the brother. That ass, like, ain't nothing wrong with getting your life together, bro. Because that's what it's about at the end of the day. I'm keeping it a million with y'all. I don't make these videos just to be making them, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make these to spread awareness, to drop knowledge, to get motherfuckers to understand that, you know what I'm saying, you do some fuck shit, nigga, this will come with it. Keep it a minute with you. Listen to your boy.
This is possible. That it's possible to lead this space.
Right. No, absolutely, man. That is beautiful. It's beautiful to have you here. So how'd you hear about this program?
So I was, as soon as I got out, just like everyone was telling me to contact the CRM, contact Erica Lake. So I reached out. She ended up emailing me back, and she told me that she was bringing in some athletes in between the lines. And since I've been out, I've been on Instagram, and I just see y'all all over the place. So I'm all like, okay. I had never ran into you inside prison, but I seen you and I'm like, okay, this is some dope stuff right here. And that's how I first got really up on Between the Lines. And so it's amazing to be here now being interviewed by you.
Man, no, it's amazing to interview, bro. It's such an honor, for real, for you to join us here today. If you don't mind discussing, and feel free to tell me next question. But what were you down for originally?
I was arrested for murder. When I was 16 years old, I was shot by a rival gang member. My father at the time was in prison, and 2 months after I got shot, he came home. And 10 days after coming home, my father took me to murder the rival gang member who shot me. I went to prison with both my parents, my mother and father. My mother was arrested on unrelated charges, but related charges to the case, but not charged with murder with us. And so I found myself at 16 years old fighting a life sentence with both my parents. Ultimately, I was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole in 2008. And after getting sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, I just came to prison and I decided to make changes in my life. I made changes in my life, and I grew up. This was my place where God really matured me and helped me become a man. And my father ultimately made it to this prison in 2019, but unfortunately he OD'd on B-Yard and passed away less than 100 yards away from me. And I went on a journey. I ended up going because I had family who worked in this prison, I ended up going to the Hole, leaving this prison, going up to Solano, and ultimately I was commuted. I was commuted though last year by Governor Newsom, and then I went to board in October, was found suitable, and today I'm here. Today I'm back in. Yeah.
Man, that is a crazy story, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not expect that. So, I mean, at the age of 16, your father getting out of prison 10 days later, he takes you to go murder the individual that shot you.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had any choice in that moment, or?
In that moment, I had took away my own choices, right? Who I had chose to be, who I had chose to become, the reputation I was trying to uphold for myself told me that I had to do what I did. But the reality was that I did have choices, and I made poor ones at that time in my life. I know my father was with me. My father took me. Did his presence play a role? Yes. He was my idol. He was the person I looked up to. He was the person I wanted to be just like my whole life. But at the end of the day, I like to take responsibility for my actions and know
You will get further in life. Just taking responsibility, like, just owning up to what you did. Motherfuckers will respect you for that. Keep it a man with you. Listen to your boy.
that I made a decision to take another young man's life and I was wrong.
Right.
Now, do you have any message to that individual specifically?
Yeah,
His family?
yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I recognize today that like there were so many other options to handle the situation that we had found ourselves in, and I made the worst decision, and I destroyed a family. I took a son, and I contributed to a lifetime of violence that's plaguing my community, and I was wrong. And I just want them to know that I understand that today, and I'm sorry.
I think
That's what's up, man. You could tell, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the brother's sincere about what he's saying and shit. Keep it a man with you. Like I said, ain't nothing wrong with change, but it starts with you. Remember that. It starts with you. It don't start with the motherfuckers around you. Nigga, it starts with you. Keep it a man with you.
it's interesting, right? Like a lot of people on the outside who have things to say about individuals who find themselves incarcerated can't understand what it's like to grow up in a war zone, where in certain moments it's you or me.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out a way to kind of cope with that, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not safe when you walk outside your door. So that is something that is very serious, and a lot of people, like I said, can't relate to that. But even through all of that, having lived through that, you still find a way to take accountability.
Yeah.
And I think that's a amazing thing, man. Clearly, you've shown remorse. Clearly, you were found suitable, and you were able to find your freedom.
Yeah.
And it's something that's also interesting to me in this situation is that you say you looked up to your father, even though he had a reputation prior to getting out, right? He had served time in prison, and you still looked up to him. So it shows the importance of rehabilitating individuals while they're inside so that they can teach those that look up to them.
Most definitely, most definitely.
And that's why I commend you so much coming back here, brother. Like being somebody who has served this time, you could run far away from this place and never come back.
Yeah.
But you still find it in your spirit, in your heart, to come here and mentor those
because motherfuckers need that guidance, that understanding, bro. Motherfuckers be like this, pushing off and shit, but motherfuckers don't need that. Motherfuckers need some real life knowledge, some shit that's gonna stick with them. Oh yeah, woo woo, etc. And I'll never forget because of such. You feel me? Y'all understand where I'm coming from. That'll make a motherfucker, they just sit up there talking to him, like, just sitting up there, giving them positive shit. Spit knowledge and shit like that. That'll make a motherfucker day, bro. Straight up.
They're not where you are on their journey.
Yeah, most definitely.
How much does that mean to you?
It means the world. Like I think you made a ton of important points even in your breakdown there. And the first one is that my father entered this system in 1970. And when my father entered this system, he didn't have this. He didn't have the programs. He didn't have between the lines coming in, and rehabilitation wasn't the focus. And therefore, every time he came into this system, he often left worse than he came. And one thing I wanted to make sure I did while I was here is that any positive opportunity I had, I took advantage of it, because I recognized how important it was for me to be accountable for who I was going to become in my future. And I recognize the reason why I'm so accountable and I try to remain accountable for all of my actions is because I recognize that accountability is what's going to shift my community and what's going to shift the culture in a lot of our communities around the country. And I think we have to go in and we have to show that every decision we make is important to the young people, even to the men here today. I was just telling them on the sideline that, like, you guys have to control the culture here, because the way you control the culture will determine the blessings that flow from this space. right? I was blessed by this
Tell me how your
yard.
future gonna be.
And I was blessed because other men on this yard had made decisions to control the culture, to be intentional about the way they presented themselves and the way they matured and showed other young men how to mature. And so I just find that important to come back and share that same message with them because I know how important it was for me. And I know how important it's going to be if we want to get rid of these systems and get rid of these spaces and these places.
Right.
Because I don't think nobody should be in prison.
That's real, man. That's real. Now, I want to ask you something about legacy,
I
right?
don't agree on that because you got some fucked up ass people like.
And what you want to be
Crazy
remembered for.
motherfuckers
So
like
when you
that.
dead and gone and up out of here, what do you want people to say about you? What do you want to be remembered for?
I think about this often, but I really want to be remembered as being a good person, a man, a God, a man who may have made some bad decisions early in his life, but he carried out the story of redemption to its fullest. I was at a graduation last night for USC. A brother who I spent time with on this yard graduated from SC, and I'm sitting there and I'm realizing like this opportunity is even before me. And I want to be remembered as a person who took advantage of every opportunity that he had, but most importantly, that in the taking advantage of opportunities, that I impacted my community and the world in which I live. That I left a bright spot and a smile and a sense of joy and happiness and life in the life of others. And so that's what I want to be remembered for.
Absolutely, and you will, man, for real.
Thank you.
And you will. So inspired by your story, bro, for real. And I appreciate you sharing, man.
I
appreciate you being so vulnerable in this moment.
No problem. I appreciate this opportunity.
Anything else you want to say?
Just thank you, man. Just thank you. And I thank God right now for this space, this opportunity. I thank my family and everyone who supported me along my journey. I recognize how important it is. So if anybody sees this, anybody watch this, if you got a loved one who is incarcerated, please support them because your support can be the difference. Thank you.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? Straight knowledge. Nothing but facts. Ain't nothing wrong with change, man. But I got more videos after this one. I love y'all and I'm out, man.